I'm just saying one word.
No,
yeah?
she's saying
That was
but
the
Adam
idea.
and Eve was just
No,
one wife.
but
And I'm
the
just saying.
scenario.
God could have made another one.
Yeah, exactly.
But
The other
he just
scenario,
made
he made one.
Yes.
He
That's
could have
it.
made two.
Protocol. Yeah.
No, all right. I'm happy you guys touched on that because
No,
we
don't
believe
tonight, no,
the
no.
biblical
Last time I
account
tell
of
you.
what happened. It is impossible for God to have just made, in my view, Adam and Eve only, and Adam and Eve populated the earth. That means we would all be family. No, but if
But
we
we are family.
no, wait. If we read the biblical account, it says he made male and female, he, them.
Yeah.
Them is plural. So it could not have been one.
Meaning the
It
two
was
of them.
one originally.
It says this.
Yeah.
It says, therefore God created man in his image, meaning mankind. But the
And
word
it's
Adam means man.
two. Yeah.
You get a better understanding of that word in Genesis 5
Yeah.
verse 2, where it says, therefore God created man and called them. It says man and created their name
Adam.
So the
Okay.
word
That's
Adam
their
means
surname.
man.
You
But
want to
literally it's two people.
Yes.
It's
You want
Eve
a week?
and when it says Eve, he even defines what that word. It says he called her Eve for she came out of a man.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Wow.
That's where it comes from.
You wanna wait?
But
You
I
taking
want
him
you
out?
to think-
So when-
hold on,
yeah.
give me a second. I want you to think of this. Think of genetic
Can't change the
codes.
word.
How do genes work? How do gene sequences work? You have, you see, if you say a pedigree, a dog, like a poodle, for example, a pure thoroughbred poodle or a thoroughbred pit bull.
Yeah.
What you've done is you've eliminated other gene sequences so that only the genes that are like this
Yeah.
exist.
Mhm.
But essentially, a good dog to start from is a mongrel dog because there's certain it has genes from different dogs. So out of it can come an Alsatian.
Many things.
Out of it can come. You understand?
Just like
so,
the black woman.
Right.
Adam and Eve.
So exactly. So you have let's look at this population. You have Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
But they have a complex genetic structure.
Asian.
How you would know the complex genetic structure is when you see the descriptions of God in the Bible and they're made in His image.
That's
You hear of this bronze skin. It's neither black, it's neither white. It's not reddish, but it's ruddy, isn't it? So out of a complexion like that, you can get a fairer person.
Yeah.
You can get a darker person.
Yeah.
And then they're made in this image and they're told to populate. It means that their genetic structure. A pure black person, you take a Sudanese black person, that person is now almost a thoroughbred. It's like taking a Scandinavian white person. You've stripped certain genes out of them.
Right.
Or you switch them off so much so that they're so suppressed. They don't ever, what do they call it in a gene, express. They don't ever express, no matter how many generations down. That's what you've done.
Right.
But now if you have someone who all of this can come out of, how many do you think about this? Noah is a lion. You know you have Adam, you have Seth, you have Lamech, not Lamech, but Lamech. And then you have Enos, and then you have all the way until Lamech, Methuselah, then Lamech, Noah's father, then Noah himself. Then you have Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
That's right.
Essentially, that's just one line of Adam. That's where we're coming from. We're not coming from Adam's full line. We don't know what other races existed pre-Diluvian times. We only know what came out after the flood because that's what we are. Any race you can think of, Mongoloid, Negroid, Caucasian, whatever, it's only coming out
Those
of.
are not
Genesis
races,
10.
though. Those are just
We're one
nationalities.
race.
Yes, it's one race. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
It's just a poor choice of words and guess where
Yeah.
we come from. But what it is we're coming from one line. But imagine the other lines that existed, the ones that died. Imagine the line of Cain. Imagine what. So Adam could have populated broadly. The population gets cut off, reduced, and then from this line, Noah's line, it spreads again.
Okay, I get that. But here my query. When Cain killed Abel and he fled, yeah? It said that he encountered other people. Where did those people come
It doesn't
from?
say. So what it says is, what it says.
You see hold on
It
there.
very clearly says that
You're looking at a timeline there.
many
It's-
Huh?
The Bible says
The timeline
Yeah.
many Adams.
between when this happened and
Yes.
that
What I'm
happened, how
saying
many
is-
years passed?
At some
Marriage
point, you're going to
program.
need to cut
System.
off the thought that, okay, let me conjecture something and say, I take it for what it is. If there was an Adam and Eve, yeah, which I believe there was because I don't believe in the evolutionary model because nothing today ever evolves to become
No,
more complex.
we would still be
breaks
evolving.
down,
Yeah.
isn't it? And think of Newton's laws. It's just the law of entropy itself. Anything left in stasis breaks down. So therefore, we'll be breaking down into lesser
That's right.
compared to what these guys were.
That's what I'm saying, we'll still be
In terms of longevity, in terms of just virility, we are all less and less. You don't even need to look 2 generations down. Just go to our grandfathers right now. Look at Mama. How old is your mom right now?
89.
She's 89.
Turning 90 in August next year.
And eating. How many do you know who are eating McDonald's are going to be turning 90?
Oh,
Without an accident in play.
That's right.
It tells you what's happening in humanity. So imagine what those guys were like. Now, if you have a gene that's with so many gene sequences that can be pulled out of it, you had a possibility of having many children and they could intermarry without there being any sicknesses.
That's
You know
right.
those gene mixing
Yeah.
sicknesses.
Yeah.
Only when those genes now are stripped to just Noah's line can you no
No, we
longer
get
have
that now. My position is, this is in the immediate, yeah? Because Adam, Cain, Abel, yeah? But when he fled, he found other people. Now, if those people are from Adam's
Yeah.
seed, why were they not living in the same community where Adam is?
What you have said is you have given timelines to that adventure.
Yeah.
Free yourself from that. Just abuse yourself of that notion and say these are people who. How old was Methuselah when he died? How old was Adam? 969.
he was very bold.
But you know what's crazy? What's crazy
But
is
remember,
this.
they were close to perfection.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? What happens
That's
with
why
them?
they could.
Here's what's a scary thought. Just go and ask about teeth layers and age. Every year, even though we're getting older and we erode our teeth, your teeth grow a grain, like a. That's how they can age a person from teeth. You see when someone's dead, they say, "Oh, 39-year-old."
Yeah.
The way you have rings on trees, your teeth do that. But the grains go cross. So 1 year is this way, 1 year is that way. I guess it's clever of God because it makes your teeth stronger so that they don't disintegrate with age. So this year and this year the other year. They found teeth that express people over 200 years old. What they call the Neanderthal man, the Franskin,
Yeah.
that's just a man that they've separated the jawline from this, and then they say, oh, it must have been a monkey or halfway to the monkey. That is all. Literally, these are frauds that they commit openly, and if you challenge them, you either get killed or you get ignored. So what you have the evidence of teeth, just the dental records of people who are over 200 years in age.
Yeah.
That tells you these are now probably intermediates. The ages are starting to get older, isn't it? So if you have that, and you have an Adam and an Eve, remember you don't have, with Adam and Eve, you're not looking for the age when they grew up to sexual maturity. They come out already sexually mature.
Yeah.
Already they are ready to give kids. I'm giving a separate timeline. I'm saying, let's say they enjoy each other's company for 2 years. Thereafter, pop comes out Cain. Then comes Abel. That means very close to Adam. Remember, she's very healthy. She can, because she's the perfection of health.
Perfection. Yeah.
She can recover very quickly from
That's
pregnancy.
right.
And already it moves on to, she can have another child in another year. And that child, maybe next year, it's a set of twins. Maybe next, within 10 years, just her alone could have over 5 to 10 children. It can happen in this age.
Yeah.
My grandmother on my dad's side had 11 children. So how many could Eve have had? Let's just say in 100 years. My grandma didn't have 100 birthing years. But these people's metabolisms, because of that then, she went menopausal in 50 years as a woman today. But it happened to happen commensurate to how old she could live. So how many children did she have? Those children would have children of their own.
Yeah.
How many could they help? These are healthy beings. They were still closer to the perfection of creation.
So what you're saying then is that they would have fled
They would have exploded the
the
population.
community
Yes.
and went and formed communities.
Yeah.
of-
Yes, that's
They were
because the
encouraged to do
instruction
that.
was standing.
That's right.
Go forth and multiply. But it doesn't stop at multiply. It says and have dominion over the earth and
That's
subdue
right.
it. It's not talking oppressive dominion. It's saying be in control of
That's
things.
right.
So what you have is you have a generation that had to go out there and explore a world. Listen, remember what does Genesis 2 say Adam's job was in Eden? It says, and God placed the man in the garden to tend it. But God had created the garden. The rest of the earth wasn't the garden. It's a jungle out there. But it's a jungle made of undulating hills. It wasn't rough features. Those would come from the flood, from the curse of the earth, also from the curse of Cain's blood. Remember, it says, and well, first the sin, it says, cursed be the earth for your sake. Those of this shall it bring forth for your sake. But Jason and I love to talk about this part of it. When you say thorns and thistles shall it bring forth for your sake. When we talk about the one that helps neurons, what's that herb, that weed?
Protocol.
Gotacola. We talk about Gotacola, it's a thistle, isn't it? A thorn. When God is saying, cursed be the earth for your sake, He's not, He doesn't hate us, man. He loves us. What He's saying is,
It's a choice of word.
yeah, He's literally saying, I'm going to make certain things grow, but it's for your sake. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth. Think of every herb. Herbs aren't pretty. Dandelion is a weed.
Yeah.
Blackjack is a weed. But do they not help us? We weed them out of our gardens because we have this model that my garden must just be lawn. That's what we have, and flowers. But these things are things that bring life. Those thorns and thistles were from God gifts, because now you can't have access.
That's the same thing we think about many women. They thought there's more than one. It's not one herb, it's many.
Think of their relationship,
Yeah.
because that will give you more of a perspective of what God would expect from them and what would be their obligation to Him. It was a deal, man. God always is cutting deal with humans. That's why there's an Old Testament where He says, "Oh, you think you can keep my laws? Okay, you be my people. I'll be your God." Then they fail to do. He says, "Okay, so I know you can't keep my laws. I'll bring someone who can. Your job is to believe in it." John 3:16. You believe in that guy, as in you accept him as a truth. We're not talking believe as in I accept his existence. That's otherwise James 5 says demons believe. We're talking internalizing that. Okay,
Yeah.
so through this way of salvation, and this is how I can develop character. If you do that, I
need something for that.
I can redeem you from this curse that you're falling yourself into. Because God is not trying to keep us out of eternity, He's trying to get us in. We went out when we ate that fruit.
I'll go over that side.
But remember, 1 John 4 verse 8, God is love. If you just remember that,
Yeah.
there's no conviction there. That's why a lot of these things, the Western model of a judgmental God is a cruel and evil model. If we discard that model, we'll do just fine. God is love.
Yeah.
Can we pray? Does anyone mind if we pray then?
Yeah, that's fine.